Retirement isn't just about money. It's going to be about security, freedom. It's going to be about your peace of mind. But most people don't actually know how much they'll need or how long it's going to last. Today, I'm going to walk you through the real questions you should be asking yourself in order to prepare for retirement, and why real estate is one of the most powerful tools you'll need to get there. So let's start with the big one. How much money will I need? And why that amount? Most people just throw out a number, million, 2 million, 5 million, but it means nothing without understanding the kind of lifestyle you want and how long that lifestyle can last. Your monthly lifestyle cost times your years retired, that's going to equal your baseline. Okay, so, but what if you didn't have to rely on only your savings, right? Because imagine instead you own 3 rental properties, each producing around $8,000 a month in cash flow. That alone could fund your life without you having to touch your retirement accounts, without you having to dig into all of your savings, and without you having to be uncertain that your savings are going to last you your entire retirement. The next question, and it sounds like, maybe more of a darker one, but how long will I live? And what happens if I outlive my planned finances? People are living longer than ever, right? Many people into their 90s or even beyond that. And retirement plans don't exactly plan for that. They almost have the rule of 75 there, or 80. And if your retirement is based only on your savings, you're withdrawing over time, eventually it could run out, right? Especially with inflation and the way we're seeing things going. But real estate, rents tend to increase as your property is also appreciating. Properties can pay you for life, right? And even pay your family after you're gone in perpetuity. So your portfolio can outlive you. Whereas, nowadays we see a lot of people with the most common savings plans and retirement plans. You're going to outlive your savings plan and your retirement plan, especially the way things are going, the uncertainty of Social Security, and many other things, the fluctuations of the stock market. Real estate is stable. It's consistent, and it can be passed down to your heirs. And like I said, keep producing that income for your family in perpetuity. So this is another powerful question here is, will my retirement plan care for my spouse, my partner, my children? Are you going to need to help your parents financially when you retire? Do you need to help them now? Life happens. Kids may need help. That's college. They may need help with rent. They may need help with living expenses. Parents may need care. And all of that can be very, very expensive. Those are things that a normal savings account and retirement plan may not account for, right? But real estate creates something that many investments don't. A physical asset that you can leverage, refinance, cash flow, and transfer generationally. Because, think about a stock. If you invest in a stock, you have to pull that money out in order to reap the benefits, right? And when you're pulling that money out, you're almost shooting yourself in the foot, because you're pulling out money that could be compounded annually and keep growing. Whereas in real estate, you are getting that consistent cash flow from the rental income while your property is appreciating, or while that stock is growing, you are receiving distributions, right? So that's the difference there, right? So again, a physical asset that you can leverage, refinance, cash flow, and transfer generationally. That is very, very, very special. So instead of selling assets to create money, your assets can make money for you. And what's good about these income producing properties is when you're ready to sell, it's not necessarily a sale. You don't need to sell it, you need to upgrade. So that's when you go into 1031 exchange situations. You take a property, right? You don't have to worry about the capital gains tax anymore. You're essentially transferring your property into a bigger, higher income producing property, right? And that's a very popular, among investors, developers, people that want to grow their wealth, their net worth, their portfolio of real estate, and then eventually pass that portfolio down to your kids or your grandkids, or whoever it may be that's important to you. So here you have to be honest with yourself. Okay, what kind of lifestyle do you want? Do you want a modest one, or a generous one? Do you want to relax at home, or you want to travel twice a year? You want to travel more than that? Do you drive something simple or something you love? Are you gonna kind of splurge on things like that, right? Are you gonna live comfortably, or are you gonna live freely? These are important things you need to know, because everything's case by case. Someone can't say, I'm 60, I live in Los Angeles, I need so and so $1 million, to be able to last the rest of my life. That could be, good for that person, but maybe someone else is living more casually, or, more intense. They might need more money or less money, right? So it depends on your lifestyle. Neither answer is wrong, right? But being clear is going to help your plan, right? You don't want to base your plan on someone else's plan, what they've done, because it won't work for you. So real estate is kind of that thing in your life that you can scale with lifestyle goals. One home might create a modest supplement, right? But a portfolio of 5 could fund a generous retirement, and it's going to fund generational wealth for your children, your grandchildren, and whoever else, right? So just as a simple breakdown here, you got 2 paid off rentals, your bills are covered, right? Your bills are covered. And then you're getting whatever retirement plan you already have in place, you're going to get that too. You got 4 rentals, you got your bills covered, maybe travel, maybe some cushion too. You have the 6+ rentals, and you keep growing from there. You have generational wealth, and you have your bills covered. You have the travel covered. You have that cushiony life that you want, comfortable, generational wealth potential with that, right? And you keep that growing. It can only go up. So the next question here is going to be, how much time per month am I willing to be involved in managing real estate? Because if you want to be hands-off, property managers exist, management companies, it's going to decrease your cash flow a little bit. But if you want control and self-management, then self-management is the option, right? You kind of get to choose your level of involvement, which is another great part of real estate. You can kind of choose to sit back, maybe take a little hit on the cash flow so that you don't have to stress about it very much, and people will handle it for you and update you, on a need-to-know basis, right? But what about risk? Are you comfortable with the fluctuations of the stock market? Is that a risk to you that's concerning? Stocks can swing very, very rapidly, right? Up 20% one year, maybe down 20% the last year, like we saw in 2022. Went down 23% or something like that. Don't quote me on that. It's maybe a little numbers off. But real estate generally is going to move slower, more stable, right? With rental income acting as that stabilizer. And for many people, that is going to be that part that gives them more security, and it feels more secure. Is you can rely on that appreciation, and you don't have to worry about the same fluctuations that you do when you're investing in the S&P 500, or that's a more stable investment there. But other stocks, right, it's going to have a lot more fluctuation than even that. So let's pause now. If you answered all these questions honestly, you already have a clearer vision and a better plan about your retirement than most people ever do, right? Because most people never consider these options. They never consider these questions, the things that they're looking for in the retirement. But retirement isn't just about the finish line, right? It's about building a life where our work becomes optional, right? Because that's what, at the end of the day, that's what a lot of our careers are all about. We want to get to that point where we have financial freedom. We want to get to that point where we feel like work isn't a necessity, like it's a survival tactic, right? We don't want to feel like that. We want to get to the point where we're free, stress-free, financially free. You can travel when you want. You can take time off whenever you want if you're someone that wants to keep working, right? But real estate is the proven path to get there. Okay, you got monthly income, you have appreciation, you have tax advantages, you have the legacy of it, right? You're going to pass it down to your children, your heirs, whoever else you want to. And if you want to continue building toward a retirement that pays you and not the other way around, you can subscribe and keep following along on my videos and my other social media pages as well, because I'm going to be creating more videos like this, more advice. And if you want the written worksheet version of these questions to reflect on, so you can get them down and get a plan, set in stone, go ahead and comment retirement. I'll go ahead and forward that worksheet to you, and you can print it out or save it on your computer and save it, just so you have that route ready. You have it prepared. If you put all this into action, your future self is going to thank you for starting today, right? For planning for your future. You're going to look back and say, thank God I didn't put all my eggs in my 401k or all my eggs in that Social Security, right? You invested in yourself, and now it's paying off. Thanks. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.